that initial taste with that aftertaste, with that resonating flavor, with the carbonation not being too little or too much, you know, flows nicely. The thing that creates the overall experience of it, right? Hey, welcome everybody today to the first episode of What the Fizz. This is Sparkling Reviews for Foos. When we review sparkling water and show you the latest and greatest. My name is Bryce. A lot of people refer to me as Caveman. The list of things that we're going to detail in the review process is going to be the flavor, the smoothness, the balance, the first taste, the aftertaste, the level of carbonation, of course, and of course the overall experience of it all. And at the end, there's a little secret I got in store called the Final Fusion. I'll also be going over the value of price versus quality, and of course, if the quantity of the item of what you're buying is worth the price you're paying. So let's get down to it and kick this show right off. First and foremost, this wouldn't be a very good show if we didn't have any goddamn water. Each episode I'm probably going to be looking at doing 2 per episode, so just keep it nice and simple, nice and short, but at the same time, not too short. So the first one we got here today is the Perrier Strawberry. This one is one of my favorites, actually. There's going to be a lot in here that I've tried already because I have such a passion for the sparkling water industry, yada yada yada. So we're going to start by reviewing the Strawberry Perrier. The next thing we're going to go on to is the Grapefruit Bubly, as you can see right here. Obviously one we got here in a bottle, other one we got here in a little can. Alright, let's just start with the Perrier here. So the Perrier comes in a variety of forms. A lot of the time it'll come in a 10-pack of cans for about 250 milliliters per can. I like to think that though that the value of what you're getting out of the big bottles is going to be a lot better, even if you're paying a little bit more, right? I'm going to go by Canadian pricing and everything like that on this show, considering I am from Canada. For a 10-pack at 250 milliliters of the canned stuff of this, you'd be looking at paying roughly $7. Now, $7, right? So that's $2.50 a can, so 4 cans, that's a liter. So you're looking at 2.5 liters, essentially. 2.5 liters that you're paying for $7, right? Even when you go to a convenience store and you get one of these things and it's on sale, it's usually 2 for $5. So 2 for $5 right off the bat is already $2 cheaper just for 500 milliliters less. So the value to the dollar there is going to be a lot better when you're getting into the bottles, and that's not even counting, that's counting at a convenience store. That's not even counting like the actual sale price of what you would get it at a Walmart or a Costco or something like that. Or Costco, I don't know if they've got the Perrier, but nonetheless, I want to get into value for dollars. So getting in the bottles, let's say they'll get a 6-pack of bottles. If you get a good sale price like at the Walmart there, you can get this for $6.97. $6.97 without the bottle deposit tax. Without being on sale, you'd probably be looking at close to $10 or $11. Not bad value considering these guys here are 1 liter, so 1 liter is going to be 6 liters in total. Perrier is actually one of my favorites. They've got a variety of different flavors, I think about 8 or 9 different flavors that they've got going on here, and I've tried every single one of them, but I'm going to review all of them here again, just for you guys to see. I just want everyone out there, like, while I find that the sparkling water industry is booming quite well. It's getting a lot more popular, of course, and a big part of it is because of, you know, people wanting to lose weight and everything like that. The 0-calorie tag that they have applied on it is going to be a lot more approachable. It's going to be geared a lot more towards people when you got that 0-calorie tag on it, right? Not only that, but they're starting to get a lot better with the flavoring and everything like that. Like, I know before it was pretty much like Perrier, San Pellegrino, and you got a couple of these other smaller companies, and now you got like literally 20 plus different kinds to choose from, and probably more that's going to be coming on the way here too. You know, it's pretty much just like Diet Pop, right? You're not going to have a whole bunch of that added crap that they throw in there, you know. They just want to spike it up with all the flavor. Ooh, all right, let's get silly with this Oh yeah, let's get into this here. Let's just get silly with this. So let's open this bad boy up. See, give this thing the first taste. That's what we're going to start with here. First taste, then we'll go through the balance, the flavor, the smoothness, everything like that. First taste. This is why this is one of my absolute MFing favorites. How many of you guys remember when you were kids and you had those little pink strawberry, those kind of squishy marshmallowy type candies or whatever? Like, this is pretty much the most accurate representation of having candy form of this water. Like, it's just like if you're having the candy, that's what it tastes like when you drink it, right? And I kind of love that. I love that when it has that nostalgia factor too. It kind of punches you in the face of something like you had when you were a kid and you're like, oh my god, that's really tasty. And then secondly, also knowing like you're not gonna get fat from this stuff. Like, it's not gonna be any, and there's gonna be not a lot of caloric intake. In fact, none at all, right? The reason why I say not a lot is because some of the Perriers, they do have about 45 to 60 calories in those cans when they have the juices. But this one right here, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, but one of my favorites for sure. First taste on this is gonna be one of the best that I've ever had. For value, I'll just give it a 9.0. We'll just stick with that for now. And there's no real basis to go off of when you're not really comparing it to a lot of other different things yet, given it's the first episode. So, first taste, 9.0 out of 10. Level of carbonation is about mid-range. It's not too low of the carbonation where you're not going to get that effect where you're like, you know, you get the satisfaction of, you get the tingling on your tongue, right? Now it's just kind of going smoothly down your throat. It's going down. But a lot more of the waters that have had that carbonation that kind of punches you in the face sort of thing. But this is definitely in the mid-range, which is good. Like, because what it works out, some carbonated drinks are very appropriate when it is in the higher range or in the lower range. It depends all on the flavor and the balance of the taste. And now with the first taste comes the aftertaste, right? You know, when you get that first little sip, you know, you're just kind of trying it out, you're not sucking on that teat, you're just trying to get that fix for it. You know, you're like how's this gonna go? But then there's that thing, that wave that comes in after that kind of crashes into you that's like, oh, I got some flavor for you. Sometimes it doesn't though. Like, I've had some recently that are not the greatest with flavor, that after it just kind of gets like really bland and like kind of tasteless, and you just want to spit it out, right? But I just like it to kind of punch you in the face, and you want that flavor to kind of ride like a wave, right? So it just kind of flows and you get all that taste, you know? You want to come back for more. It leaves you wanting more. Like, that's the whole purpose of these things, right? You drink it once, they want you to come back and buy more. That's how they go. So with the aftertaste, what I like is it kind of like settles really nicely, and that flavor doesn't dissipate. One of the biggest key points there, because a lot of the time the flavor will dissipate. Like, as soon as you get that taste, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad, right? You swallow it, get that little bit of an aftertaste, and then all of a sudden it's just totally gone. The flavor is gone. It's almost like they didn't try very hard. But with these guys here, the Perrier Strawberry, they did a fantastic job with the aftertaste. Aftertaste, I'll have to give a 9 as well. All right, balance. What's balance, you ask? Balance is basically the balance of everything kind of thrown together, right? That initial taste with that aftertaste, with that resonating flavor, with the carbonation not being too little or too much, you know, flows nicely. The thing that creates the overall experience of it, right? Balance for sure, they've nailed this one. I would say 9.4. 9.4 would be a good rate on the spectrum. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm pretty screwed up when it comes to ratings, okay? I'm gonna rate it whatever the hell. I'm gonna go really in depth with this, so I don't really know how in depth it'll be. Oh, we want to go with smoothness now too. Smoothness is like the rate in which, like, does it sting your damn throat when it's going down? You know, does it kind of make you, you know what I mean? Is it gonna be flowing? Is it gonna be giving you that extra kick? Smoothness, yeah, definitely one of my favorites again here too. Probably about an 8.5 with this guy. Reason why it's maybe a little bit lower is because there could be maybe just a tad more of that flow and flavor in there. But that's just me being picky. Like, I just don't want to give everything a perfect review. You know, come back and be like, well, they're all like the same. Like, all my favorites are going to be same rating. Like, no, they're going to be different ratings, right? All right, is the value worth the price versus the quality, right? So you're not going to get some BS when you're going to go down an aisle and you see all this stuff that's like, you know, sometimes you see I saw one of these sparkling waters or whatever that was like literally in a 200 milliliter small ass like little bottle, and they're gonna tell me to pay $2.50 for 200 milliliters. It's like, okay, well, I get it. If it's a little bit higher quality item, it makes sense. But if I'm gonna freaking throw it back in like 3 gulps, what's the damn point? Might as well just save the bottle, not even make the damn product. So yeah, value with one of these things, at most expensive, it's about $3, I would say, about $2.69 for something like this. Least expensive that you would get is, you know, on a really good day, probably about $1.49, $1.47, something like that. So price for value is definitely there. One of the best, I have to say. I have to give them the credit. I have to give them the props, a little pat on the bum. I got to give them that. They've done a fantastic job with that, right? And they're very, very consistent over the years, and they get a lot of credit in my books, and big thumbs up for me. So this gets the Caveman stamp of approval. Overall experience with this one, definitely a solid 9.2. 9.2 with everything said and done. You know, all factoring in, of course. Even the smell of it, man, it's still got that little bit of flavor. It's still got that strong, nice taste to it. So that's a little zingy resonance. Good to go on that guy here. All right, next one I'm gonna move on to. All right, next up, Grapefruit Bubly. Okay, this is one I've also had before as well too. Now this one is never really sold separately. This comes in a pack of 12. Pack of 12, usually best sale price I've seen for a pack of 12 before a bottle deposit, of course, is about $4.50. Canadian. Just remember these are all in Canadian prices because this is where I live, man. I'm not gonna just like start doing calculations, conversions, and stuff in the middle of the damn video, right? So deal with it, deal with it, deal with it, motherfucker. And so usually at most you're gonna be paying about I'd say $7 for the whole pack, right? But they've come down pretty much to standard of $6.49. $6.49 regular price. Usually see the average sale price to be about $4.99. So pretty good value for the dollar as well, right? Because these aren't like the Perrier, as I was kind of saying a little bit earlier, where you get the 10 cans for 250 milliliters each. You got to make sure when you're going to the grocery store and you're going to the convenience store and you're getting these items, whether they're sparkling water or otherwise, you want to make sure that you're measuring everything, right? You're doing that quick math in your head. It's actually very important because of the amount of money you save. You might not even realize the quantity and versus the quality that you're getting for the price that you're paying. And so it's very important to be absorbing all of that awareness with that as well too. All right, let's get into it. Grapefruit Bubly. That first crack. So I'm like a little bit weird too. I kind of crack my cans just a little bit halfway. I always used to do that as a kid too, because like everyone cracked their pop cans and everything like that, and then you kind of keep it in the corner, and you would know which one was yours because yours not cracked all the way, so you can tell the difference. So they didn't get all our freaking mucky ass germs all over that. Nice little smell to it as well too. Am I going too far? Am I dragging it too far? Whatever. Smells good. It doesn't really have that like zingy resonance that it has like with the strawberry Perrier, where it kind of kicks your nose up a little bit, flares it up. You get a little bit of that flavor. This one, more faint on the smell. But again, we don't really rate the smell or anything like that. That's not the most important thing about this. It's not even in that level. I just figure we detail it in case people have any of these wacky questions and they're just wondering. Okay, first taste. Salud, like they would say, you know, my half Italian ass. You gotta give props. So yeah, this is again one that I've had before many times. It's got a kind of little bit of for that aftertaste though. Like the first taste is initial taste. Good, solid freshness. You know, the carbonation is there. You get a little bit of that. Yeah, a lot of that tingle. Still within the mid-range of the carbonation, but you're getting a lot of that tingle. I find that initially, the bubbly comes in really smooth. It has that kick. What happens near the end there is it doesn't hold onto that flavor with the aftertaste as well as some of the other grapefruits, right? So a good example of this is the Montpellier, or I'll call it Montpellier, because I can't even say half these names properly anyway. There's so many different waters, brands they want to be all fancy with. It's like Montpellier, whatever. Montpellier. That guy is a really good one. That'll be one that I'm reviewing here in the future as well too, near future. But the Montpellier, Monte Cristo, freaking whatever the hell. God damn, Monte Cristo. Montpellier, Monte Cristo, So the grapefruit version of the Montpellier is actually a lot more potent within the aftertaste that I've noticed. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but it's just like in comparison, just right off the hop. If you're looking for something that maybe has a little bit more kick to it, I would say for the aftertaste, that one for sure. Getting into the balance of everything. Now they do have a nice balance with that carbonation, with that zing and everything, but again, like a little bit lackluster on the aftertaste. Aftertaste, I give it a hard 7. Balance though, balance will be a little bit higher. I give that about a 8.2. But the flavor, right? It's kind of like got a little bit of like a bubblegummy like tinge to it, you know. It's not really a bubblegum flavor, but you kind of get that in your mouth. A little bit of woo. Nothing too special out of the ordinary. I can definitely see why people get sick of this after a certain period of time, but for me, it's definitely something that I would buy again. It's one of those things like, okay, like if I haven't had it in a while, I'm not going to buy it every single time, you know, but it's definitely a buyback. That's what I want to call it. A buyback is where you're willing to actually come back and buy the product. If it's just that terrible, you're not going to come by. You're going to be like, GTFO, I'm gone, right? Value, price versus quality, definitely worth the value for that, right? $6.49. Okay, you know, use your judgment there. You get that sale price, a nice little $4.47, $4.99, whatever that price range. Definitely worth the buy. Bottle deposit and everything like that is going to be, you know, probably $6.25 after that. All said and done anyway, but it saves all the tax and the deposit, right? 12 cans, 355 mils versus the 250 that you wouldn't be getting. You'd be obviously getting the 350. Just fantastic value for the dollar for sure. And the nice thing with Bubly too is, again, another brand that has like 8 or 9 different flavors, and there are flavors that are better than this that I will get into here in one of the next videos. Overall taste and experience, we got the hard 7s, the 8.2. Overall tasting experience on this is about a 7.8. 7.8. I'm being favorable. Okay, I'm being generously lenient. Okay, this rating system is just coming out. Like, we're just starting fresh with this here, so give me a damn break, okay? Alright, now, the moment you all have not been waiting for, because you probably haven't made it this long in the video and don't really care, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's really strange and I have a strong hot sauce obsession. And one of my favorite hot sauces in the whole world is Tabasco. Why am I bringing this in, you add? I have not one hell of a clue. But I'm bringing this in because I just had this random idea where it was like, hey, you know, remember when I was younger and I used to just put Tabasco on things? I used to just kind of put it on something. And one time I put it on a banana, and then Tabasco on a banana actually tasted good. By the way, try it. It's actually not that bad. Don't hold me to it, though, because that was a long time ago. And I haven't had it since. So, screw me. Alright. So what this is I'd use just something absolutely stupid and ridiculous that makes absolutely no sense at all. I just take both the two that I am reviewing on the episode, put a little bit of dabble of this on the tongue, take a little sip of one and then the other, mix it around, and then I just kind of give a little rating, and then you can laugh at me for whatever face I make because it probably tastes like absolute dog crap. Alright, Tabasco. Actually, funny story with the Tabasco too. When I was a lot younger, my grandparents and my mom and stuff, when I used to get in trouble and stuff, they used to do a thing where like, oh, well, if you get in trouble, if you swear, or if you're bad, or you do anything wrong, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of the hot sauce on your tongue. Little did they know. Ha! Tricks on them, little did they know. Ha ha, what did they know? I actually love the taste of Tabasco, and even as like a young kid, right? So just like dabbling that on my tongue, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in so much trouble. But then they figured it out, and then they fed me about 3 or 4 bars of soap. And I can tell you, the soap is not as appetizing as Tabasco on the tongue is. But anyway, back to the story. Morning glory. We got the Tabasco. So this is what I want to call Final Fusion. I don't know why. It just sounds really cool, and fusion just sounds like a hot thing. So let's go. On the tongue. The bubbly. Bubbly. Oh, them. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, oh, gosh. Oh, that was way worse than I thought. Ooh-wee. Oh, wow. Yeah. That was ridiculous. I had a little bit of Tabasco. I'm like, you know what? Flavor's kind of nice. I had the grapefruit next. Grapefruit kind of had that blend where it's just like, like this sinking lower feeling where I'm like, okay, let's get a little bit gnarlier, right? You know, I can handle hot sauce pretty good. I can handle it. I can handle the hot sauce very, very well. What I can't handle is when it's mixed with different things that are random that I don't know what to expect, right? But with anything hot related, I can basically handle the hottest of the hot for the most part, right? I obviously prefer flavor over going something that's gonna fucking kill me. Just a Tabasco with the grapefruit, I was like, oh, wow, that's really bad. And then I put that in there, and it was like, explosion of gross hot. Oh, what is wrong with me? Why do I do this? Oh. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Caveman, or as people like to call me, Bryce, my real name. But I hope you guys stay real, and I'll see you in the next episode, and I will stay Caveman. Thank you. And if you happen to like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe. Only if you want, and you want to come back, you want to return, you want to see some of this fun and see me cough and choke on camera, because apparently I'm stupid and I'm going to do this the next time too, then that would be great as well. So, cheers. Hope you have a great day.